Hey, I'm Tom Feldman. Welcome to this beginner fingerpicking series. This is lesson 1, where we're going to take a look at the first few measures of CC Rider. It's in standard tuning. Here is my low E. Let's get in a tune together and we'll get started. All right, match your low E with mine and we should be in tune. Now, the basis for this lesson is to take CC Rider by Mississippi John Hurt and break it down a few measures at a time. So it's going to be about 4 or 5 videos, 4 or 5 weeks that is going to wrap up this tune. You'll have the whole thing at the end of it, but we're going to take a look at just the first couple measures to begin with. And the first thing we're going to need to learn how to do is we're going to need to know the chords. The chords of the song are A, D, G. That's it, 3 chords. The first 2 we're going to look at is the A, so we're going to do the long A. That's what we call this chord here. And what we're going to do is the 5th string is open, then we're going to bar at the 2nd fret, strings 4, 3, 2, 1, add our pinky on that 1st string 5th fret, and that is a long A. The bass that we're going to need is 5, 4, 5, 4. Also, the bass we're going to need for a D chord, and for those of you who may be brand new, a D chord is just at the 2nd fret, strings 1 and 3, and then at the 3rd fret, that 2nd string. The bass is also 5, 4. So our alternating bass between our A and our D is going to be exactly the same. Looking at my right hand, there's a few things I want to talk about before we get into picking the piece here. One is anchoring your pinky. Now, those of you who may have played more of a classical style or more of a freehand style tend to have a little bit of trouble getting comfortable anchoring that pinky, but it's very much worth the work, because what this allows me to do is it allows my hand to be locked in a place. It's in position. If it's free, you can move it up and down, but if it's anchored, we're locked in place, which is going to allow me to really focus on articulating those bass notes. I'm getting a very consistent bass. My hand isn't moving up and down. I'm not fumbling. It's locking it in place. It also allows me to rest very comfortably my palm on the bass strings near the saddle, which gives me that dampening sound. So when you hear about dampening the strings, that's what's being talked about. It's not pressing, it's not pushing, it's just lightly resting your palm near, I do it near the saddle, which is typically where you would do it. And again, it's just lightly doing that, which when I'm anchoring is very comfortable to do that. Now, some people anchor with 2 fingers. It's completely up to you, whatever's comfortable. That definitely depends on the fingers you're going to be used to picking with, which I'll talk a little bit about here that after this here. But so just get used to having your hand resting, anchored, because then we get nice control. We also get that nice dampening sound, as opposed to, we don't want that, we want that. Now, for our picking fingers, I actually use my thumb and 3 fingers when I'm finger picking. And what strings I'm using depends on, and what strings and what fingers I'm using depends on the song that I'm playing. However, for this song, you could really get away with just a thumb and 1 finger or 2 fingers. And again, what you're using for the melody strings, do I use my middle for the 1st string and then 1st finger for the 2nd string, is up to you and how you want to pick those. But again, as a new finger picker, I would shoot for the thumb is going to be 5, 4, then maybe focus your 1st finger on the 2nd string and middle finger on the 1st string. Like that. So let's get into picking this piece, and it's going to start off like this. Those are all pinches. So we've got our long A. We're going to be pinching strings 5 and 1, so together 1, 2, 3. Now on the 4th beat, we're going to do this slide up. So it's going to be an open 4th string, start at the first fret of that first string, and that's 4 and, because we're sliding up to D. 4 and. And then the melody line for the D is all right, so putting all of that together, this is what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is all I want you to work with for this first lesson. That's the first 2 measures. There is tablature with those, so you can walk through them slowly. And I know that's a pretty quick little run through, but again, those are all pinches, and if you watch the video over and over again, you'll be able to get all the timing right on that, and exactly when those pinches happen, along with the tablature, should assist you in that. And for the next video, video 2, we're gonna do kind of a similar thing, but now we're going to be alternating our finger picking, because that's what the melody line is doing. And that's something to maybe keep in mind as you're working through this piece and going forward in finger picking, that typically what you're picking is based around the melody that you're singing. So again, we've got C, C rider. So the only reason that we're picking the melody strings in the way that we are, when I say melody strings, I'm thinking of strings 1, 2, and 3, is because that's what the vocal melody is doing. So that is the first part of CC Rider, and stay tuned for the next part. Take care.